Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Kuri, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I apologize for yesterday's episode. I think the content was brilliant. I listened to it, but my energy levels were really, really low. I do apologize for that. And I think sometimes is that I'm so driven to get this content out, and sometimes I'll be fighting through a lot of exhaustion after client calls, plus my job, plus having to navigate being a parent and so on. So it's important to me. I'm driven by this. And I was speaking to a therapist. Well, when I say speaking, we're having a back and forth because therapists don't like the work that I do. They, flaunt their certifications because they've got certifications, they've got better rights to talk about what they teach or whatever they do. And really, when I started asking them why do they actually do this, they always boil it down to they love helping people, but it just only ends there. And I was like, so what made you want to help people? And it's sort of there's nothing else after that. And I think it's not enough when you're trying to change people's lives. There has to be something else that's driven. I am absolutely obsessed with stats of nations and populations and the effect of certain cultural changes. So on. So for example, when the movement for transgender and so on happening, I wanted to know what was happening and how that was affecting us. And I was pretty quick to see that this was not a movement that was good for anyone. I'm not saying people shouldn't be transgender or choose not to be, but I think the way it's been framed around society, it's got collateral damage. It's causing collateral damage massively in terms of how we view relationships, marriage, and childbirth rates. So there's that effect on that. And then also when the Harvey Weinstein thing came on, I was horrified by the things that women were going through. But at the same time, when the Me Too movement came along, I knew that there was collateral damage. If you listen to my earlier on episodes of this podcast, I talk a lot about this, saying this, I do agree with the women, but this is horrible for men, and it's got this effect. Now we're seeing the back end of it, where culturally men are not approaching women, and there's this is it 9 out of 10 men are sexless. So it doesn't matter that you're married or not. Most men are just not having sex at all. They're just choosing to OnlyFans and porn it, pretty much. And for me, and you're probably wondering, why is this important? For me, I look at that and I think, okay, this is a problem. This is where I could help people. But for me, I'm driven by something else that's much bigger. In the UK alone, in probably in the next 100 years, this could become a Muslim nation. So, and I'm not saying I'm on a mission to stop this becoming a Muslim nation, but there is high chances that that's going to happen, because right now, while we're still figuring out what is a woman, and while we're not dating, while we're divorcing, the Muslim community is continuously getting married, having at least 3 children within a household whenever they do get married, and staying married for longer. So the birth rate, while it's going down in the UK, within the demographics of Muslims, the birth rate is going up. So as over a period of time, they're outbreeding the locals. And it's just not the UK, it's in Europe as well. So you see this real issue that's happening. If you look at places like Greece, Italy, there's a lot of villages and places where people are no longer living there. They're literally taking people out of the villages, and they're trying to pay people to go and live at those places because the birth rates have gone so low that it's going to affect the populations of different communities. And the other bit as well is that people are going to be working for a lot longer. So you're going to find a lot of people's retirement age is going to be lifted because there's less people being born. It means that there's a lot more people that are going to be staying within the working force, because in order to sustain the economy, you need a certain amount of people to be working. So you can't afford for people to retire. So it means that you're going to have to keep people longer. So it's stuff like that. When I look at it, I think there's this massive effect. And how do you fix that? fix the home, fix the marriage, fix the guys, make them empowered within their marriages so they can not just have a fulfilling relationships themselves, but they can also teach their children to have a fulfilling relationship. So I'm hoping that my relationship between me and my wife is an example for my son and my daughter on how they can have a marriage and have children and have a fulfilling life with it. And I know I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but at least they know how to navigate the difficult situations that arises because of it. So it becomes the mission, because if I can make your house amazing, if I can make you empowered, it means that you've got the opportunity to empower your children. Not only can you empower your children, you get to empower your communities as well. And you get to empower the people that are around you in your industry, because you understand, you get it. You get how to change your relationship. You know how to navigate the difficulties of a relationship. You know how to be empowered within a relationship. And this is my driving force, that I cannot reach every single man and help them to become empowered in a relationship. I need you, and I need to help you so that you can help those I cannot reach. And this is why I'm so empowered by it. So as I explained this to this counselor, there was a change in demeanor, and started realizing that there is a bigger why. And I started telling him what we're doing. I think that was interesting, because it was a little bit heated, but it converted to something where we're actually collaborative. We started changing ideas. I liked some of the stuff that you were saying, very good. At the same time, some of the stuff that I was saying here, started seeing the difference between what we were doing in terms of just, talking about stuff like dominance, for example, and how you approach that and why that is important in terms of, removing anxiety and sexual comfort and stuff. And I found it empowering because, again, I'm willing to share as much as I can and help as many people as I can, because I know we're behind. We're not even thriving. We're at a place where the world is sleeping and we are dying. Not dying, but really the societies are dying. And we've got no fucking clue that it's happening. And some of us are now trying to tell people about this. And some of you guys are probably thinking, you know what, I'm not having sex. I don't give a shit. I just want to control what I can control. But I'm concerned about the future that my grandkids are going to come into, or my great-grandchildren. I want this future to be amazing, where they can navigate good relationships, where they can navigate the world and still be a place where it isn't insanity. I think the one thing about the transgender movement stuff, one good thing about it is that we're going to outbreed them. So over a period of time, 10, 15, 20 years from now, it will be completely nothing, because they're not having sex, they're not having children, so therefore they're not going to be existing. Pretty much that's how it's going to play out. But moving on from that, it's really important that we, as men, start focusing and seeing, how do I affect my relationship? How do I affect my household? And make it that we know how to navigate the challenges, and make it that we are working towards having a happy relationship, or working towards procreating and doing our bit into our society. So my kids hopefully will have children, and we'll be able to share that experience of being grandparents with my wife. And then at some point, if we can see those kids grow up to be well-adjusted human beings and be able to affect the world as well in amazing ways. And more importantly, I would like to that my kids are also affecting their communities as they go, and teaching people what they've learned in our household. In that way, we're impacting the world as a family. And I want that for you and for everybody that you're coming in contact with, that when they look at you and your wife, they go and say, there's something different about you. There's something I can see that is different. I want you to know what you guys are doing different, because I want the happiness that you experience. I want the fulfillment that you're experiencing. And you get to tell them about the challenges that you've had to face to get to where you are, and why it's it's been worth it to do so. So, and I thank you very much, guys. And I just thought I need to share this because, it's quite easy for you guys to listen to what I'm saying and think, what is this guy? He's just trying to angle for some money. I would like to get paid. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I would like to get paid. And I want to get paid because I want to stay at home and focus on completely this. Right now I have to work as an engineer. It pays me really, really well. But I'll choose to do this for the rest of my life. And it would be nice if that could remove this from me chasing after that salary and just stay at home. And that I want this to be my focus. So yes, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and make it seem like I'm a good Samaritan. I am really motivated in terms of changing the world, but at the same time I would like to get paid in order to do so and be focused on that specifically. So again, like I said, I'll just tell you as it is. I'm not gonna try and make it seem if that's a problem for you, that's okay. It's that's how life is. So thank you very much, guys. We're seeing you guys soon. Take care.